he's off the phone. Check 1 2 1 2. Check. Checking for audio for camera. 1 2 3 4. Check. Check 1 2. Yes, testing audio. 1 2 3 1 2. Now it's kind of low. 1 2 3 4. Check 1 1 2 1 2. Check 1. Yes, 1 2 3. Check audio for camera. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check audio. 1 2 3. Check 1 2 1 2. Check 1 1 2. Check audio for camera. 1 2 1 2. Check audio. 1 2 3. Press conference. Check audio for camera. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check 1 2 3 1 2 3. Check audio for camera. 1 2. Press conference. Press conference audio for camera. 1 2 3 4. 1 2. Is it cleaner now?
Yeah.
Yeah? Check. Yes. 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Check. 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check. Yes. 1 2 3. Audio for camera. Press conference.
Check 1 2 1 2.
Check.
Austin? Is it better?
Test, 1, 2, 1, 2, test, test, testing, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. You let me know when I get to the other one? Okay.
Check, check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, okay. You need to check these ones? Or, okay.
¿Cómo estás?
Check, check.
Good morning. We need 5 more minutes and then we'll be starting. Well, good morning, everyone. We welcome you all to the opening press conference for the 55th General Assembly of the Organization of American States, the OAS. My name is Gonzalo Splariz, and I'm the Press and Communications Director at the OAS. We have with us the Foreign Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Mr. E.P. Chet Green, the OAS Secretary General, Mr. Albert Ramlin, and the OAS Assistant Secretary General, Mr. Nestor Mendez. Welcome, and thanks for being with us today. This press conference will be conducted in English. For those present in the room, interpretation devices are available if needed. For those watching remotely, there are 3 channels available, one with the original audio, one with Spanish interpretation, and one with English interpretation. You may find those channels via our website, www.oas.org. We will start with opening statements from our officials, and then we'll open the floor for questions. Mr. Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and I bid welcome to my esteemed colleagues, the SG and the Deputy SG, Assistant SG of the OS. Also say welcome to visiting journalists and in general visitors to Antigua and Barbuda. From the get-go, I want to say on behalf of Prime Minister Gaston Brown and the entire nation of Antigua and Barbuda how delighted we are to be hosting this very important and auspicious meeting here in Antigua and Barbuda at a time when the Americas, by extension the world, is not in the most comfortable places. I think we can all say this morning we've enjoyed, but it is. And we're hoping that as a result of our hosting this meeting, that the Americas will leave Antigua and Barbuda in a better place, with hope, with a belief in ourselves and our ability to fashion policies, programs, and responses that will impact the direction and future of our beloved Americas. As we gather here in St. John's at this beautiful AUA property, it is also quite timely that I give recognition to the management of this outstanding university for hosting us. We're not only here in the most beautiful country in the world, but we're here as the most beautiful people in the world. We have declared ours as a region of peace. I think we come into this space with that strong belief, and we leave this place, hopefully, with a stronger belief yet, commitment even, to maintaining the Caribbean, the Americas as a zone of peace. The thematic areas to be covered in this very important assembly all impact on life and living in the Americas. Since the pandemic especially, we have been having quite a bit of conversation across the region, and I say the region to mean the wider Americas, on the question of mental health. And so Antigua and Barbuda's presentation of a mental health resolution is quintessentially a reflection of our times. And the call is for us to engage and to leave St. John's with a stronger commitment yet to tackle issues of mental health. Peace, prosperity, and all the other issues that we've tackled are issues which I'm sure delegates are coming to Antigua are ready, fortified, and certainly prepared to discuss. As Foreign Minister of Antigua Barbuda, I can assure you that for us, we do not wish for a talk shop. We wish for a meeting with meaningful outcomes. And so whatever our thought processes might be, I want to fashion us and lead us into that direction. It's not AI now, not AI driven, this is a straight conversation. That we embrace the moment, understanding what our call is at this stage. The call to duty is real. The call to save and to almost rescue our American civilization. It is timely, and the leaders of the Americas converge in Antigua Barbuda with a single focus, a single mission, that of improving a lot the lives of the peoples of the Americas. Within the broader geopolitical space, it is how we fashion programs, how we fashion plans and initiatives to have the Americas continue to be a global leader. And so the journey begins in earnest now with this first press conference. I will end like I started by welcoming the Assistant SG. The SG, the first outing in this capacity, we would have sat together in several meetings, myself wearing the Antigua Barbuda cap as Foreign Minister, and he wearing the cap of Suriname. Today I have to look up to him as my senior. And quite gleefully I say, congratulations to you, my dear colleague. I have every confidence that your leadership of this organization will be down to the benefit and advantage of our regional hemispheric growth and development. And it's in that context that Antigua Barbuda welcomes you as SG to this your first of hopefully many General Assemblies. Again, to the media, mine is a moment of invitation, welcoming, and I'm sure that you would know that ours is a tourism destination. So as I look through the room, you see me moving left to right, if only for the purpose of making sure that when I see you next in Antigua in your swimsuits or in the hotels, I recognize you from this morning. In other words, I'm extending an invitation to you to not make this your last trip, but for many of you, your first. Welcome to Antigua Barbuda and to the 55th General Assembly that we now host. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Mr. Secretary General, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, and good morning still? Yeah, good morning. Antigua time, good morning. I first of all want to welcome Minister Chad Green, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Barbuda Affairs of Antigua and Barbuda, who has been a strong supporter of the inter-American system in different capacities. So I want to thank Minister for being here this morning and for joining us in this press conference as our host to the General Assembly. I believe this General Assembly takes place for several reasons in a very particular, interesting, if you wish, some would say challenging environment, both from a global perspective as well as from a regional perspective. And it adds a certain degree of responsibility to all of us, especially the heads of delegations who will be attending this meeting, the ministers, to utilize the time we have over 2.5 days here effectively so that we can have a frank, open discussion on these developments, because these developments have major impact on our lives. And ultimately, it's about that. Ultimately, whatever we do, it's for the people we serve. And whether we do that directly as elected officials or indirectly as representing governments and international organizations, regional organizations, we all have the same obligation, is to serve the people of the Americas, to do exactly what the Organization of American States stands for since 1948 in terms of democracy, representative democracy, in terms of human rights, in terms of rule of law, in terms of independent, strong judiciaries, but critically important also the issue of sustainable development, prosperity. It's in the charter of the OAS. Peace and prosperity are critical objectives of this organization. So, not that we have to remind ourselves, but we have to always be cognizant of that fact, that peace and prosperity we stand for. And for that, we need a democratic framework, we need proper elections, we need to solve problems in a pragmatic way, and I'll speak to that much more on Wednesday. But this is our view. So from that perspective, this General Assembly has its own meaning, because we live in particular times. Another reason for this special occasion is certainly that this General Assembly takes place in the Caribbean. A small grouping of countries, but powerful in terms of its assets, its experiences, in terms of democracy, in terms of human rights, in terms of civil society engagement, in terms of trade unionism, and being all of them, each of them, particularly small economies in today's world, have demonstrated to be resilient. We can take excellent lessons from that in terms of how we deal with larger problems in the hemisphere. So the region has agreed and has supported the election of a Caribbean national as Secretary General, and I think it is with that ambition, but also with that reality of that experience which we represent within this region of unity, able to work together, although the countries are all different, towards a same goal, a common goal, and that's to create a better life in the Americas and certainly in the Caribbean. So, as Secretary General coming from a Caribbean country, it's a particular pleasure, Minister, to be here in Antigua and Barbuda. I shook hands yesterday, which I had done many times before, but for the first time as Secretary General, the first Prime Minister, the head of government, in my term in office is the Antiguan Prime Minister, Antiguan and Barbudan Prime Minister Gaston Brown, and I want to thank Prime Minister Gaston Brown for his dedication, his commitment, but also the efforts. A small country, 160,000 people more or less. How much? 100,000. The 60,000 will come if you all visit. 100,000 even. So it's not a small effort. It's a real commitment you must have to be able and willing to spend so much money on an energy and capacity to organize such a meeting. So this meeting has so many facets which should inspire all of us to, as the Minister said, to focus on deliverables, to focus on concrete issues. The time for talk is there sometimes, but the time to walk is even more important today. So that's a Caribbean expression, and I take the advice of the Minister very highly. I want to thank Ambassador Sanders also for, as permanent representative of Antigua and Barbuda to the OAS, for his contribution and his work. I'm pleased to see in the audience here many of our, or some of our permanent representatives and permanent observers, very important, and senior officials of the organization. It's very important. But of course, our address is to the media here present and also those virtually taking part. Antigua and Barbuda, it's not the first time the country hosts a big conference, a large conference. Last year I was here in a different capacity at a Small Island Development States Conference, which resulted in very concrete proposals. Minister, I hope to see the same happening here, and that we can have a forward-looking agenda. Now, with regard to the agenda, the preparatory committee has approved and agreed on an agenda for this meeting. And from my perspective as Secretary General to the organization with a clear mandate of member states to make the OAS much more relevant, much stronger, more efficient, more transparent, revitalize the organization as the main vehicle in our hemisphere for multilateralism among member states. Based on those requests, instructions, marching orders of member states, we have started the process of making the OAS stronger internally in terms of the workings of the OAS. So this is something which we will present here, our vision for the future of the OAS as a multilateral institution, and multilateralism is of critical importance in this hemisphere, especially now when we have so many issues to deal with. We will speak also about the Summit of the Americas, and I hope that the tone, the first thoughts with regard to what should happen at the Summit of the Americas, when the leaders of the Americas will come together in Punta Cana in Dominican Republic early December, that the tone is set here in terms of what we expect from that summit. So that is the second, and we have an opportunity in the private dialogue to speak to that and to hear from ministers where their priorities lie and also where they need to, we need to focus on. The last one is something which I think it's also very important is many comments are made about the state of play in the hemisphere. And the state of play in the hemisphere, depending on how you look at it, can be seen as one where the hemisphere is divided and where there are issues and problems, which, of course, for a certain part is true. But I think we have another way of looking at what is happening in the hemisphere. It's a very diverse hemisphere, socially, economically, politically, legally diverse, historically, in terms of language. But that diversity is not a disadvantage. It should be an advantage to building a stronger community. We can learn so much from each other. We can benefit so much from each other. So what I'm looking for also in the debate here is a more positive, forward-looking, constructive agenda on what is uniting us and not what is dividing us. A common forward-looking agenda, because that is ultimately where I expect results to come from to the benefit of the people of the Americas, through the OAS, through other parts of the inter-American system, through private sector engagement with civil society, and all of us, private sector, civil society, governments, international, regional organizations, play a role in creating that environment in our societies, which is going to be peaceful, secure, with a prospect towards the future, and making sure that we have a hemisphere where there is no open war, no open conflict, where we deal in peace with issues, where we invest in each other's country, where we trade with each other, a more united, connected hemisphere. I hope that this General Assembly, under your leadership, Minister Green, will set the tone, and I hope that tone will translate also in Punta Cana. So these are the three things I expect from this General Assembly. I know that there are some particular issues which we are willing to address later on when we receive the questions, but I think the overall flow should be one of an optimism with regard to where we go in the Americas, and there's a role to be played by all member states and permanent observers and other players, including the Inter-American Development Bank, Pan-American Health Organization, and the Inter-American Agriculture Institution. So thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalo, and we'll be open to questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary General. Mr. Assistant Secretary General.
Thank you very much, Gonzalo, Minister Green, SG. It's a true privilege to be in Antigua and Barbuda. I feel at home in the Caribbean. I guess those who know me know This is my extended home. I want to echo the words of the Secretary General in expressing our deepest gratitude to the government of Antigua and Barbuda and all its authorities for their very warm welcome, literally warm welcome in this beautiful island state. I would like to say a special hello and thank you to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Barbuda Affairs, the Honorable Paul Chet Green, and good friend, the Ambassador Ron Sanders, the permanent representative of Antigua and Barbuda to the OAS, Ambassador Liverpool in the back there quietly managing everything from his cell phone, and his team, of course, who have been working tirelessly to put this event together. Thank you for your exceptional support, your dedication, your hospitality, and of course your commitment. We have worked closely with our team from the OAS with them over the last months to make sure we have a good General Assembly. I also wish to express our thanks to the media representatives who are joining us today. Your work, as we all know, is essential to keeping our citizens informed. Your work is more important than ever to promote open and transparent dialogue on the issues that impact our region. Thank you for your dedication and thank you for being here. The General Assembly, as you know, is the OAS highest political authority, and its decisions will guide the activities and priorities of the regional body over the next year. Since 1971, 23 of our member states have hosted the regular General Assembly. We are very pleased to return to the Caribbean region for the first time since the 32nd session held in 2002 in Barbados. Over the next 3 days, our foreign ministers and other high-level authorities from across the continent will gather to address some of the most urgent and complex challenges facing our hemisphere. The government of Antigua and Barbuda has chosen as the theme for this assembly, building resilient, inclusive economies in the Americas. This theme emphasizes the need for the region to focus on building economies that can withstand shocks and ensure equitable participation for all citizens. This involves addressing challenges such as climate change, economic inequality, disaster preparedness. This General Assembly, as the SG mentioned, represents a valuable opportunity to discuss and advance the regional agenda on these crucial matters. As is our tradition and responsibility, these issues will be discussed not only among representatives of member states, but also with various sectors of civil society, youth, women, indigenous peoples, people of African descent, entrepreneurs, workers, and the LGBTI community. All of these actors are key players in the development of our region, and their voices are essential to their deliberations. I am pleased to give you now some of the statistics that we have compiled so far on the attendance at this 52nd regular session of the General Assembly. As of 7 a.m. this morning, the General Secretariat has processed 650 accreditations, of which 190 are representatives from our member states, including 17 foreign ministers accredited as heads of delegation and 14 vice ministers and other high authorities. 84 representatives from 32 permanent observer countries to the OAS have also been accredited. The Secretariat has processed 327 registration requests from civil